UFC Undisputed
with Chris the American Man and Derek the Mighty Win.
NUFC Talk.
To NUFC Talk, I'm not sure what the heck happened there. We had, that's because this guy ruins my morning, man. I had everything planned for a reason, and then he shows up out of nowhere. Unbelievable, man. So what were you doing this morning already, man? You were funnying on. You were waiting for your guy, waiting for your.
Was on the Thursday morning when the gas man came to call.
My goodness,
I've got a rental property, and the central heating went off last night, so I had to get the gas board out. And typical British Gas, their appointment time 8 a.m. till 1 p.m.
Knackered you.
They just made it.
Anyways, welcome everyone. Don't forget, welcome to the channel. It was an American Mac show, and it turned into NUFC Undisputed. Now had to do everything from scratch, but welcome one and all to NUFC Talk. We are live here midday UK, 12:05 p.m. early afternoon in the UK right now. Welcome everyone. Don't forget to subscribe, smash the bell for notifications, and of course make sure that you're subscribed, hit the bell, and you can super chat if you want to and enjoy and highlight your comment. There's one thing that you can do now that we are trying out. Of course we are trying out because we got a new number. The number might change, by the way, as well. But either way, we're trying this out, and we put Mighty Win's phone number out there, so you can call him all day now, and yeah, have your say. You can have your say throughout the show. We'll try to stay as long as we possibly can. You can call us now, 0191-916-8863. You can call in, have your say. Now you don't need to join any link, any webcam, any of that sort. You don't have to be I guess have the technical nous to do anything. All you got to do is pick up your phone and give us a phone call when we're live. Again, 0191-916-8863. That should be easy enough, shouldn't they, Win? Pick up the phone.
Number.
There you go. It's a UK number, of course. Only UK
Newcastle number.
Can call us now and have their say on whatever we're talking about. A little bit of a rundown on what's going on early this afternoon. We got Sandro Tonali back in Eddie Howe, says the dressing room is happy despite league struggles. A new tactical shakeup. Joe Linton dropped. Nick Voltemada given a new role. We'll talk about that. Big critique from Jamie Carragher as he calls Newcastle United a mess right now over a transfer window and support for Howe for lacking of support from everyone else, and he says that he might have bigger fish to fry and go to England, etc. We got the headline video coming up after this one, so stay tuned to keep you informed. Loan oversight: Newcastle eye an early termination of young loanee Cordeiro coming from Westerlo. The Mighty Win rates at a 0.
Not true.
No, you do actually. You rate him at a 0 because you say that if he's good enough, he should be playing for Westerlo. But you could say that about every.
I've never seen anything of him, so I can't comment. But
you can say that about every loanee that we put out. You know, you can say the same thing about even Minte at a certain point until he took off. You can say that about the Australian kid, Cool. You can say that about all the loanees that we got. You know, if they were good enough, so then you're telling me none of them.
You can't say it about Minty, and you can't say it about Anderson. Because Anderson wasn't a loanee anyway, but you can't say it about Minty because
Minty ended up working out at last, but nobody ever thought. You know, everybody thought it was going to be a bust as well.
No, we sold him because we had to for PSO.
Yeah, that's selling them, but we loaned them out first, though. That's the point that I'm talking about.
Well, that loan worked, is the point I'm making. They're the only two loans that have worked to date are Minty and Anderson.
And we didn't loan Anderson anyway, so.
We did loan Anderson?
What did we loan to? I think one time to somewhere.
It was at Bristol Rovers. But they christened him the Geordie Messi.
Yeah, but it's not like he came over here and the loan was a success. It wasn't a success. That's the point of the
So
conversation.
our academy
Lo-
went
Loans are
out
rubbish.
on loan and came back.
The point is that our loans are rubbish, and we didn't loan
Disputing that
Bristol.
for 1 second. You ain't going to get an undisputed on that.
Well, I'm just saying. So then stop trying to argue with me, man, for no reason. Welcome, everyone. And I see the chat moving. So welcome. Don't forget to smash the like button. We are live here on the Midday UK. And let us know what you think, of course, on everything that we talk about. Get your cowboy hat out, win. Well, he's got England, by the way, coming up tonight at, I believe it's 7:20-ish. On NUFC Talk, we're going to be live, England versus Serbia. So we got to remind you, and good job in the breakfast show as well for Corey and Sam early in the morning, 8:30 UK. So good stuff from the guys. Jordy, then Tonali got anywhere. Where else can he get a Jordy special pizza with doner meat, chips, garlic, and chili sauce toppings? He'll be mental to want to leave. End of the fear mongering. How are the lads? Well, I mean,
Not to mention the Greg's pasty and a Witherspoon's meal.
Yeah. Well, listen, I wouldn't. I wouldn't put it past him. I think he's done an interview as well after all of the rumors and everything else about his potential exit, and he's been reiterating that he's happy. At the end of the day, though, all of that's talk, and as well as him staying or him wanting to leave or saying or hinting that he will leave, all of that is talk, because if nobody comes for him, then he ain't going nowhere. And if he says that he's going to stay, if somebody comes for him, he still might leave. All of that is irrelevant. At the end of the day, Newcastle United need to do what they need to do. Again, give him a good contract, solid contract, and of course, do their part as far as building the team around Tonali and other players. And that's really all you can do. So, but Newcastle are not doing that right now. We're not doing that. And I don't think any player looking at what we're doing now, I think you can tell that the project has stagnated, no doubt about it. We're not going nowhere. We're looking worse and worse by the week, and hopefully after this international break, things will change. But if you're trying to persuade players to stay, well, it might not be the right moment, if you will. But so what do you make of that?
Well, have you read the club's article on Tonali?
I don't need to. The club's going to put whatever the club fits the club.
No, this is all directly attributed to Tonali quotes. All the very good moments and happy moments in my life and the pitch I put in my house, says Tonali, who added the Champions League Player of the Month trophy to his growing collection on Wednesday night. All my trophies, just like the first trophy here in Newcastle, Player of the Match award against Aston Villa, I left in my grandma Gina's house because it was the first. It was a gift for her, and it was really important for me because it was the first game and everything was different for me after the first game here in Newcastle. The Villa game was maybe one of the best moments here in Newcastle for me, top 5. The trophy against Athletic Club I put in my house, like the trophy. It's really nice, and I want to put everything together in my house. And then he says, this is another top 5 moment with Newcastle because it was important for me, for the team, for the fans. You know, the final was amazing. The stadium was amazing. 1 week after we had the parade and everything was magic. This may be one of the best moments here in Newcastle for the team. Honestly, life is similar. We just wear rings. He smiles. My wife is special. Now it's 7 years together after 2 or 3 months when I learned a little bit of English. Julia was my wife from the start here in Newcastle, not in Italy. In Italy, she was my girlfriend, but here in Newcastle, I call her every time wife when I spoke with teammates. The gaffer, or other people in Newcastle. It's normal for me to call her my wife, Mogile, in Italy, and I'm happy we are together and we are happy here. They're also expecting the first Chelsea's and now back into quotes. And we have a new entry before we have our boy. We have Wendy. Wendy is another French bulldog. I'm very happy in Newcastle, really happy.
None
I
of that.
tried.
Hold on, man. I'm boring. I'm bored. I'm being bored to death, man. You're pulling me into sleep, man. I just woke up, so I don't need to go back to sleep. I mean, those quotes mean absolutely nothing. Talking about the dog, the lovely wife is pregnant, the cup feelings after the final, all of that is lovely, man. None of that really is relevant to now.
And how very happy he is at Newcastle.
Yeah, of course you'd say that. That's fine. That's fine. And like I said, either whether he says he's staying or whether he says you never know in life, and might want to leave, and hinting that he's going to leave. None of that matters. It matters what Newcastle United can do to persuade him to stay and other people to join. All of this talk about the French bulldog and all that nonsense, man, it's irrelevant. That's only for happy clappers to dwell on and just sleep on the clouds, to just float away, running through the tulips with the French dogs and all of that nonsense. None of that is relevant to real life. So why?
It would appear to Benjamin. Good morning, lads. I think I'm Eddie out. It's over.
Well, I don't think. Listen, I think even Tim.
Thanks for the chat, Ben.
Thanks, Benjamin. I think Tim's comments yesterday were very eye-opening to a certain extent, because everybody's known Tim for being very cool, calm, and collected, and the fact that that is a fair take, because you're thinking, okay, he's gonna learn, but it doesn't seem like he's learning. So when do you draw? You draw the line when you feel like you draw the line. Each individual fan, at this point.
I've told you I'll draw the line after the Christmas fixtures if we're not within striking distance of the Champions League.
Unfortunately, though, you can. That's your line. Your line is all the way over there. I mean, it's.
Yeah, because he's got enough credit in the bank to get that far.
No, I don't think so. I think the credit is. I think he's got credit in the bank, but not as much credit as you think. I think he can get a little couple grand loan and not much. That he ain't got enough credit to keep doing this to Christmas. That's my point.
I just think you underestimate him.
No, I don't. I think he's done it 1 year of face bad. As far as being in the bad form, he had one season to do that. He did it last season with not having a game in midweek. He's never really been in that predicament. He came from Bournemouth to fight relegation, but he'd been a relegation type manager anyway. So nothing really was expected. I don't think you ask Newcastle fans, do you think we're going to get relegated? They would have told you, yeah, I think we will. So he came in, he did decent, got us out of there. I thought did obviously unbelievable the next year, finishing in Champions League. But he faced hurdles really last season due to his own mistakes as well, by the way. That's the problem. It's like he put himself in that predicament. He was able to get himself out, but we can't be in that situation every year. And that's why I'm falling to. I appeal to what Tim said, that he keeps doing it, and it doesn't seem like he's learning. And that's when it's up to fans now to determine what's their deadline. Ultimately, as far as his job is concerned, it would be up to the PIF, I would assume, or the CEO or whoever. I don't know who's got the final say. You would assume it's PIF, since it's a very delicate decision. But the new CEO, I'm assuming he would have a say in this matter. And but again, I'm not Eddie Howe. I think he might be able to turn it around, but might is a very, very tough word to defend, to be honest, because might is just hope, and that's it. Hope.
Well, no, it's based on fact. It's based on what he's done in the past.
What he's done in the past? He's done one time, man.
I'm just checking on that, because I think we're in a very similar situation the year before we went into the December fixtures.
Yeah, that's fine. Last year, he had the same thing last year, but he has one more competition now that he has to care about. He can't just drop the cups and and focus on the Premier League. That would be devastating. That would be catastrophic. So is he going to say, no, I can't go for I'm not going to go for the FA Cup. I'm not going to go for the Carabao Cup no more because I have to fix the Premier League. First of all, that in itself would be a shame that we've gotten to this point where you have to choose now to focus on the Premier League or else. That's why when fans criticize game by game and they say we shouldn't have lost points here, we shouldn't have lost points there, and people would tell you, well, it's just the first game, it's an away game, it's just this game, it's that game. All of that now adds up to the situation that we're in now. All of that adds up. That's why losing and wasting points on certain games that don't seem to matter, well, now they've added up to where we're at. And if we weren't in this position, we would be able to lose points against Man City, as it would make sense for it to. But now, can we really lose points against Man City? That's the problem. I think that we need to go with all of our soul and might against Everton. I think Everton are not a good team, but they're going to be at home, for whatever that means. Because they got a new stadium. But, what does that mean all of a sudden? They got to go out there and try to get points. Man City is going to be another situation, though. But it's going to be at home, so maybe you can get a point. But when you have to come to the realization, as much as happy clapping that you've been doing, almost trolling fans, this is no good, man. This is not good. You got to take yourself, look at yourself in the mirror, man. And find something.
I've already looked at myself in the mirror, and I've already said all of the things that I think Eddie's been getting wrong, and I've already said, and I've always said, any manager's job depends on results, and if the results don't start coming, he won't be here, and that's life.
You know what's crazy though? I don't feel. I do agree.
I think Merrin summed it up lovely yesterday or the day before. Yesterday, I think it was.
Yesterday, man.
And he said, I've probably just got more patience than most fans.
Yeah.
And
true.
There you go. So that's the difference between me and you.
I know, but that doesn't make you better or anything like that.
I'm not saying it does make me better. I'm just saying I've got more patience.
Yeah, but what does that mean, man? Regardless, it's not about you or your patience or my patience. It's about Newcastle United. So how long is too late for Newcastle United? Because
PIF will decide that, not me, or you, or any of the bedwetters, or any of the happy clappers.
Well, that's why. But I'm here. I'm here to talk on what I think. That's why I'm here to. That's what I'm here for. So
yeah,
and that's what we got to do here.
Well, you were saying you're not Eddie Howe yet.
No, I'm not.
Well,
but
there you go.
I gotta see. This is the thing. I do agree with you. Maybe I don't know if you think that way, but I think you would anyway, because everything against Eddie Howe you go for, you go against. But I do think that there are pundits on this channel that have that feel amazing by going against Eddie Howe and slating him and say out. I can feel that animosity from Jefferson, for example. Was a great lad, but I can feel. I don't think he likes Eddie Howe. And when you don't like somebody, then everything they do is really not good enough.
Well, I don't even think that he doesn't like Eddie Howe. I just think he's built up in his beliefs a set of facts, which to him say, if we don't get rid of Eddie, we're going to get relegated.
Well, I disagree with that. I don't think he likes him, and that might be disrespecting, his, because he might think I'm using critical thinking, I'm being objective, and that might be. Well,
that's what I think he thinks he's doing, and a lot of the points he makes are halfway valid.
I plain and simple think he doesn't like him. I don't think I think there are people that just don't like him.
I think he's on record as saying he does like him, and thank you for everything you've done, but you've taken us as far as you can take us.
No, just the attitude and some of the smiles and some
Oh,
of
the
that.
hyperboles there,
I think
would
I
suggest.
think it means clearly, but the fact of the matter remains. I don't want to make this. I think that way, and I'm saying it live, so I would tell him to his face anyway. But I think Tiger Studios, for example, just dislikes Eddie Howe, and call him
Yeah.
a fraud and all that stuff. I think, the guy that comes on here every now and then when we lose, not when we win. Um, and so, I think there are people like that. But at the end of the day, I don't have any. One of the main reasons, really, why I haven't said Eddie out, which is a shame. I got to look at myself in the mirror and say this, but I admit it, is that because I don't. It's not that I don't like him. It's irrelevant, really. But I don't find it joyful to say somebody should be sacked because although they are rich people and they don't have a worry in their lives as far as money is concerned, um, he was somebody that brought us joy. So that's
Absolutely.
hard for me to really, but I don't want to be a fool either. I don't want to, I need to, when I give my opinion, I have to say this is good or this is bad for Newcastle United. Ultimately, that's when we have this channel, for example. It's not about what I want to do. It's not about what you want to do. It's not about what Gary wants to do or Corey wants to do or anybody wants to do. It's about the channel. We got to do what's best for the channel above all. If somebody don't like my hat and think that this is bad, then I got to take it off. Not just for somebody, but you get the point. If it's not good, it's not good. And if Eddie Howe's ways are not working right now, unfortunately, somebody's gonna have to make that decision. I'm not there part of because of that, and I think that there could be an opportunity for him to turn things around. But every week, it's like he doesn't get it, man. He doesn't get it. And if you can say here he sees the players, he does this, he does that. That's all honky dory. But if we see on the pitch that these players are absolutely rubbish, and the tactics don't work, and the changes are late, and why has he not subbed this guy out? And why is he playing this guy when he clearly ain't good enough? Then I'm sorry, but that it all falls in onto him. And I've been on here. Yeah, go on.
Well, Eddie Howe has given me the two best seasons I have ever had watching Newcastle. 22-23 and last year. They're the best two seasons I have ever had in 70 years watching the Toon. Well, 60 years, 60 odd years actually going to the matches. And I'm not going to give that up lately because I've seen other listen, I was there. I was wanting Robson out. Knee-jerk reaction because of a bad run of results back in the day, and look how that turned out.
Yeah, but that's not really
And I
how.
faced a lot of competition then, people saying, what are you talking about, sacking Bobby Robson, man, he's the greatest, da-di-da-di-da. And I was pointing out, as Jefferson is now, all of the negatives about Bobby Robson at the time, how he'd won one game in 9 or something, we were bottom of the league, and I'm saying, but his time's up. He's getting too old. He's run his course. He's losing the dressing room, which we also knew about through the social media. Then wasn't what it is now. But there was lots of rumours coming out the dressing room that everybody was just laughing at him behind his back, kind of thing. And I says, well, at the time, we were massive then. We were a big club then. We were the biggest spenders in the league, along with Man United. And we shouldn't have been in that position, in my opinion, at the time. However, when I look back at that now, that was when I was young and daft, if you like. When I look back now and see what happened after we sacked Robson, we just went from bad to worse. And so I'm tempered by the will of history, if you like. That I can say, and the will of history also tells me that historically Eddie has turned it around. when we've gone through bad patches before, and it hasn't derailed us, ending up culminating in just last season, for God's sake, Champions League and a cup.
Yeah, but
And
see, that's why your standards are way below the majority of Newcastle fans' standards. Because you feel like Champions League that's overachieving, and it's not really. It's not. It's not because of the quality of players that we got, and having not really a great season last season. We finished the Champions League. Not really a great season as far as Premier League is concerned. We won a title, all that, but we had the same issue, similar. I think we're playing worse now, but similar issue to this season, last season. If we hadn't done that, imagine where we would have finished. Only God knows, but there's only a few spots.
But we did do that.
No, but we didn't. But you can't say that you commit errors that you shouldn't have. You lose points where you shouldn't have, and you manage to get back in it and finish Champions League. But what if you hadn't wasted points earlier in the season? Maybe you would have finished above 5th. Maybe you would have been 3rd. And that would have been a clearly enough evident, a much better season if you had performed consistently throughout the league. I mean, dude,
would that have mattered?
A 9-win, going. Yeah, it would have mattered. Of course, it would have mattered. What are you on about?
Well,
if you
would
had
have got an extra £4 million for league placing.
It would have. You don't think being 3rd and 5th is any different? Are you kidding me? For Newcastle United to finish 3rd, to finish 2nd,
that would have been ridiculously overperforming.
Probably so, because that means you're fighting for the title if you're 3rd and 2nd. No doubt about it.
Well, that wouldn't have been last season because Liverpool walked away with it last season.
That would tell you how good of a squad we had. And now that we have improved, we lost Isak, but we got Volta out of there. Nobody was complaining before this run of games when he was scoring on his debut in 5 for 5 in 5 for 5 games, 5 for 6 games. Nobody was complaining. So we'll see if we can. And there could be a tactical shakeup, by the way. We'll get to that. But if you don't lose points in games where you should be mature enough to not do that, and I'm not solely blaming Eddie Howe on it, because the players have a lot to do with it. But at the end of the day, he's the one commending them. Then where would the season be? You are betting that we're going to go on a 9-win game run, and we're going to all of a sudden be back in business and all that.
I'm betting that we're gonna go up the table. That's what I'm betting on.
Yeah, but that's not.
And if we don't, then I'll join the Eddie Howe brigade.
No,
but I'm saying that time for me hasn't come yet.
I don't. It's not my job, nor do I care for you to join the Eddie Howe brigade. To me, I don't care about none of the Eddie Howe brigade and all of that nonsense. I'm talking about what's good for Newcastle United. And at this point, I'm not 100% sure.
And you think I don't care? You think I don't
care? Unfortunately, when sometimes it doesn't feel that way.
Well, that's
sometimes it doesn't feel that way because
I'm not even going to comment on that remark.
You are only about Eddie Howe's feelings. Eddie Howe this. He's brought me joy. He's brought That is the wrong conversation to have, bro. That's between you and your bed. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Eddie Howe having an amazing impact on your life and how he made you happy more than your two ex-wives that you had. All of that is irrelevant. Right now, what is good for Newcastle United?
And right now, I believe that's what's good for Newcastle United, which is the only thing I care about as well, is Eddie Howe in that hot seat. And if the day comes when he's not doing it anymore, he'll have to go. And that's the way of the world. That's football. It's about results. And at the minute, he isn't getting them. But we've been there before. And as I say, there are reasons why he isn't getting them. Valid reasons. Not excuses, not bogey 17 excuses. Valid reasons why this season hasn't started according to plan.
Yeah, but this is not the first time though. And that's what when you analyze where are we going? Because you can say, you know what? He gets on a 10 game.
Carry on. No, carry on. This is not the first time.
This is not the first time he's put himself in this predicament.
Right.
With substitutions, with playing players that don't need to be played, clearly and evident that don't need to be played. It's not about whether you like them or not. And he was able to get away with it last season, more or less, to be honest, because he won the Carabao Cup. And that has nothing to do with
and qualified for the Champions League.
Yeah, we qualified. And although you say that we qualified, how you got there doesn't matter. It does matter. When you make an analysis on a manager, on anybody really, that's in any position, you analyze how they performed, not just if they got to the finish line.
All about results, kid. All about results.
No. It's all about results of how you get there. It's how you get there as well, because
it's all about results.
No, I disagree 100%. I don't think for this level of football we should just say, oh, he got the Champions League. Nibala, let's go home then. We're done. No. They need to be sitting there and analyzing how we got there. Because I'm telling you, I'll tell you what, man. I tell you what, like your favorite cartoon says, if
good old Hank, King of the Hill.
We might go
I tell you what.
We go on a winning run, we do all that, fine. But I don't know that the people in charge, the powers that be, won't be looking at it, man. We can't be living every season scared to death. That cannot be the way. That can't be the way. We're scared to death, hoping and praying that he'll turn this thing around, that he will go on a 10-win game.
As long as we all have a happy ending.
Well, listen, that's what you care about, because but those Chinese girls in Chinatown, well, they work hard, boy. They work hard to make things happen. But listen, that's because you live that way. That don't mean that you need to be thinking that just because we've barely made it the Champions League. Again, for example, let me give you that example.
But you don't realize what barely making it to the Champions League is.
Yeah, I do.
Who am I up against?
Who are you up against? You can't even beat Brentford or West Ham. They're the worst teams in the league.
Never mind that they are 2 games in a 38-game season.
It's been happening. Fulham, we barely beat them.
Get into the Champions League, you've got to finish higher than all but 4.
Higher than who?
Higher than Arsenal, higher than Chelsea, higher than Man City, higher than Spurs, higher than Man United.
You can't tell me.
Let alone higher than Tottenham and Villa.
That you're having a 2009 mentality, man. That ain't gonna get you nowhere. You're having a very, very bad mentality, man. This is not the Newcastle of old.
Do you want to see the spending chart again?
No, screw all that. That makes no sense. You're speaking to deaf ears, man. That stuff makes no sense. It's irrelevant.
Therein lies the problem.
It's irrelevant. It is irrelevant because we spend more than Brentford and Everton, probably more than Tottenham, to be honest. More than Aston Villa. We spend more. Yeah, look at how much they spent this window compared to us. We spend more. I guarantee you, we spend more. Ain't no way they spend more than
because they'd spend more on that windows, which accounts for why their wage bill is higher than our wage bill.
The wage bill, man. You own about nonsense. Nonsense. You talk about the wage bill, like if we pay more to players, that means they're going to perform. Look at Gordon, man.
Hang on. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Look at Gordon.
More you pay the players, ergo, the better those players are.
No, that's wrong.
More points you win. Straight line graph. Straight line graph.
I agree that is more than likely the norm as far as when you look at teams overall, but that doesn't mean exactly that 100%. Look at that. Look at Gordon. Gordon gets paid more than everybody, and he is rubbish on the pitch, man. He is dreadful on the pitch.
Gordon is one link in the chain.
Yeah, well, all of them perform badly. You're talking about spending. What's his name from Brazil? They went to Betis. Anthony. was bought for more money than Tonali, for example. So what are you on about? He's closer to Declan Rice, closer than Caicedo when it comes to a price tag on him. All of that means nothing, man. Chiao, 30 million.
Sean is saying, what exactly do you want? Wins explained his part.
Explain what part? We're having a conversation.
I'm happy with it. Why I'm happy with Eddie.
Well, if you're happy with Eddie right now, you ain't got a clue. It's plain and simple, man. It's plain and simple. Thanks for the super chat, though. But we're having a conversation here. I don't know what you want us to do. Jesus, you want us to talk about what? The weather? I like to know the weather in Newcastle from time to time, but we got to have a proper show here, man.
It's starting down.
We have a proper show. We have a proper show here to talk about. We had to talk about Newcastle United and the latest stories. That's plain and simple. Dexter here is football betting, especially on your own club, is stupidity. What is Dexter saying there?
I've never thought you should have it should be illegal to bet on your own club. If you're betting on your own club losing, yeah, that's fine. But if you're betting on your own club to win, that means you're going to be trying that much harder to win.
Yeah, this is not 1930s win. We can't have that.
Why? Well, there's a discussion. Why should a player not be allowed to bet that his team is going to win?
Why is that even top of the conversation right now when we're talking about something more serious, man? Something more relevant. Jesus jumped in there trying to disturb and because he's a happy clapper, so he doesn't want to have a civil, objective conversation of what's going on.
Well, we're not having an objective conversation. You're just saying I'm wrong, and I'm saying, well, that's my point
of view. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm giving you my point of view. You don't want to take it. You want to say that everybody's ignorant and everybody's expecting more than they deserve.
Listen,
you literally the other day say that Newcastle United.
Who was the biggest Eddie Outer on the channel? Jefferson, right? What did I say about Jefferson? I said he's got a lot of valid points, which he thinks are valid points. But I'm taking everything on board that he's saying. But what I'm saying is,
no, you don't. No, you don't. No.
Points that he's making.
No, you don't.
Do not convince me.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Because you shout at him. You going on and on. You never say, Jefferson, you know what, you got a point, man. I just disagree. Like a proper push folk. No, you don't. No, you don't. You get on here and you start yelling and you start saying, yeah, the agenda, the narrative is getting old, man. I can't even talk to you, man. On the other hand, he goes to culties and all of that stuff. So stop acting like you guys are civil and like you think he makes great points all of a sudden.
I don't think he makes great points. But in his
world, what you on about?
In his world, he is making great points. They are just points that he agrees with and I don't agree with.
Mm-hmm. Either way, I want to talk about what's best for Newcastle United. Again, I don't know that sacking him will do anything.
And I don't think sacking him will do any good at all.
I say I don't think. You say you don't think. I say I don't know that he will. So I'm not sure. Again, I am honest enough to say I don't know what the solution is because I want to have hope that he can turn things around. But unfortunately, I don't know. We keep on, every year we talk about learning. And when's he going to learn? That's the thing. I don't know. I don't have a clue. But you can call us around and have your say. Number is in front of you. 0191 916 8863. Call us right now and you can have your say. Debut at the phone number and have your say. And yeah, tell us what you think about the current situation of the club. What do you say? What are you on about?
I don't know. But I'm saying Steve Gotti is saying anyone still supporting the Howe is utterly delusional. Well, come on and tell us that then. Tell us why.
Exactly. Call in, have your say. Tell us why you think people are delusional if they want Eddie Howe in. The fact of the matter is, though, because I look at what's best for Newcastle United, in my thinking, I don't even know that sacking him is good for Newcastle United as far as who was coming in. I don't know. I mean, you get into the cycle of hiring managers like Nottingham Forest has, for example. I mean, I don't think we have that much of um, that kind of owners, to be honest. Just do that, but
We'll find out shortly, I think.
Iraolas and all of them managers they're all cute, but they're not doing much as far as I'm concerned. They deserve to come to Newcastle United with Champions League expectations, with fans. I do believe the vast majority of Newcastle fans' standards are high. Some of the fans on the channel don't, though. Their standards are still with Ashley. Their mentality is still with Ashley, and that's unfortunate. I'm trying to find a comment that was made on another show about this particular situation, but we'll get to that if I can find it. And but I think the expectation in Newcastle is not. This is not the club of Ashley. Any manager would come under Ashley and just expect not to get maybe relegated. Although we didn't get relegated as often as people would like to think. We weren't. That's when somebody, I think it was you and Gary, really going at it when you guys said that before we were in the position of Bournemouth and all these clubs.
Well, the thing was, bear in mind,
not even close.
Under Ashley, our salary bill was the third lowest in the league. Under Ashley.
Here we go, man.
What happened? Twice we got relegated.
Yeah, twice.
We weren't buying decent players and paying them decent wages.
Yeah, but we were in a relegation club. We were in Bournemouth. We were in Burnley. We were never been that type of club. We didn't stay there longer than a season. So, that nonsense is
no. And why didn't we? Because we were the highest paying club in the championship.
Okay. Regardless, my point is still true. Because you guys at the time, I don't know.
Just because you say it true doesn't make it true.
It is true. Were we a relegation club? Were we a Bournemouth? Were we a Leeds? Were we a Brentford? Were we? Stop lying, man. We weren't.
Under Ashley, we were, yes.
No, we weren't. We got relegated twice. That doesn't mean that doesn't make you a relegation every year fighting relegation type team. We weren't. Stop lying.
That's exactly what we were.
No, we weren't. We were never in
the one season under, and that was crazy as well. We finished 5th.
Getting relegated.
And he doesn't spend a penny.
Stop about spending, man. You keep talking about money, man. That's all you do. No common sense whatsoever. All you do is talk about money.
That is the common sense.
You just talk about money, man.
You just one day when you grow up, you'll learn that it's about money.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It's about the players you got on the pitch. And
sometimes how do you get good players on the pitch?
Sometimes they correlate
good wages.
Newcastle were never clearly in the European fight. We were always a mid-table team under Ashley. We got relegated, and that was a disgrace. I can't remember now. I've always tried to remember the manager of a rival club when we got relegated the second time. He came out and said, "It's a shame to see Newcastle United getting relegated. There's certainly a Premier League team." And blah blah blah. He didn't want to slate Newcastle. I may have been the team that we played the last game of that Premier League particular Premier League.
No,
season.
That was Aston Villa.
I think it was Aston Villa. I think the Aston Villa manager,
someone
that came out and said that, because that is the truth. Newcastle United are not a relegation club. We're a big club that were asleep, that were mistreated, that were violated under Ashley.
Correct.
And plain and simple. But we were never a club like Bournemouth, like Brentford, like Burnley, like Barnsley, like even Leeds stay there for longer than we ever did. So we were never that. We were never that. So I don't want to hear that crap. That's when we got relegated is the worst thing that could ever happen to you. It's the worst thing that could ever happen to you. It happened twice because of how violated we were. It's not the norm. It's like saying
we weren't buying Premiership players and paying Premiership wages. And what happens when you don't do that? You get relegated.
Yeah. We did finish. As I see somebody, Steely says, finish in Europe spots with Ashley. We finished. I think I remember one good time under
Crystal Palace. I'll pardon you.
Pardon you. My
Had a senior moment there. Yeah, and that's it. We'll finish fifth.
Fifth, and that wasn't her. Now we've always if you tell me that Newcastle United,
Ashley never spent a penny.
Yeah, that's fine. Of course he didn't. Well, we knew that, but that doesn't make us a relegation team. If you telling me Newcastle have always been, if you take, you got relegated. That don't make you a relegation team, man. That's the worst thing. That could never happen. For example, a Bournemouth or a Wolves or any of those guys, with all due respect, relegation, that's what they do. They go down, they come up, they go down for a few years, they come up. That's a relegation team. Newcastle United are not that. If you ask me, we were always a mid-table, mediocre team, I'll shake your hand. Because that time when we finished fifth, that's really not the rule. That wasn't the rule at the time. That was great, amazing. I thought we were back, but we were back where we were at that season. After that season, getting managers here and there. I think Chris Hughton did a decent job, but other than that, we had rubbish managers throughout. And because you didn't, and I agree with that. But as a club, we weren't even good enough to persuade top managers, top players to come in, and that's why I was getting at you yesterday with Zidane. You bring in a manager like Zidane, man. Anybody will pick up the phone for Zidane, anybody, and listen to him. And that might be a far target, a target that we cannot reach, but that's fine. But I would. I think any great football mind would love to. No, I'm not starstruck. I have common sense.
Blinded by the name Zidane as a player.
If you and as a manager as well.
As a manager at Real Madrid.
Of course, won multiple La Ligas, beat Barcelona many times, beat many giants around in Europe 3 times in a row. I think that's a lot to speak for. That's a lot.
Did you see the squad he had at the time? We went over this last night.
It was good. Yeah, we did, but not actually it wasn't as good a squad as many other teams that Real Madrid had. So take a look at it. If you have some common sense, go back, go watch those games, watch the highlights at least. They had great players, not as great as they had in the past. Nowhere near the Galacticos. Nowhere near the Galacticos.
No, as a combination, they had 3 of the 5 best players in Europe at the time. And probably 5 or 6 of the best 10 players in Europe at the time.
And still, before that, they hadn't done that, ever. So I think since the 50s when they won like 4 or 5 in a row. So, so that tells you, again, you can never underestimate somebody like that knows football.
He's just a name, man.
It's not.
He was an excellent player.
No, it's not.
And you're starstruck.
No, I'm not. It's common sense, man. Common sense. He's done it.
If Zinedine Zidane had come into Newcastle when Eddie Howe came into Newcastle, would probably have got relegated.
Okay, well, listen. It's all assumptions. All assumptions. That's all blind hope from all the extremists like you. Blind hope. That you always
I always like to think of myself never as an extremist.
You are an extremist. You're a radical. You're an extremist. You're a radical. You think that everything just will happen. No, don't worry. We'll win 15 games in a row and we'll be back in Champions League form. Based on what? Nothing at all. We've gone away though. It's been 50 minutes already. We're having a good old conversation. Got really interrupted for a second, but we're back at it. And I see a lot of comments there. In the chat, let's go to some of these comments here. BK Brent says LMAO starstruck. That's the guy with the Eddie Howe shirt on every day, by the way. What a joke. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm wearing it in solidarity at the minute.
Starstruck. Again, Zinedine Zidane did more in 4 years than Eddie Howe could ever dream of doing. So there you go. Giniestas here says Zidane won the UCL 3 years in a row. Not even Pep was close to such achievement. Exactly. And actually Pep had better players by a mile when he was at Barcelona. Better players by a mile. You wouldn't know that because you don't watch football outside of Newcastle. But I mean, that Pep Guardiola team, to be honest, was one of the greatest of all time of how they play because they would obliterate Juventus, Real Madrid, whoever came. Barcelona, Thierry Henry was there, Eto'o was there, Ronaldinho. And he couldn't even do that. Imagine that. And he won La Ligas as well, by the way, against Barcelona many times, against Atletico Madrid, against all the giants in the world. Of course, you wouldn't know because Newcastle wasn't even involved and it wasn't even the conversation. But yeah, mate, they played against proper teams as well. Let's go on more comments here. Repeat, says Paul Morris. Corey, that's one of the best Madrid teams in history. No, it isn't. Look it up, mate. Look it up. It ain't hard. Mick Law, Chris, if your club doesn't invest to improve the team regularly, the players already in the club get downhearted and form drops. Well, I agree with that. You got to keep adding good quality players. Again, I defended Ilanga, for example.
So who are the managers that you say we should be, the likes of the managers we should be going at? I'll tell you the ones you've mentioned. You've mentioned Guardiola.
No, nobody can read that. You better zoom in. There you go.
Guardiola, Mourinho, Ancelotti, Simeone, Allegri, Conte, Pellegrini, Emery, all of these managers that you're saying are fantastic. Look how much they've spent. That's the league table. Guardiola, 2.5 billion. Mourinho, 1.9 million, 1.8 million.
You do realize they're been at their prospective clubs, how long? Especially Guardiola. So what are you on about spending, man? You talk about Mourinho spending in 4 different clubs. That's nothing. What are you on about? What are you on about spending?
What I'm saying is, the reason they're winning all the trophies is because they're spending all the money.
Again, you're having the wrong conversation and you don't listen. I never expect Newcastle to win nothing. Nothing. Not a single thing. I don't expect Newcastle to win nothing. Not even the Northeast Cup with Gateshead, and I don't expect them to win a single thing. I expect Newcastle United to fight to be in the Champions League every year, in and out. 4th, 5th place with Man United. With Man United, that are rubbish, by the way, that always compete for just qualifying the Champions League. Not even they don't even think of. I'm sorry about that. They don't even think of winning the Premier League. They can't even smell it. And Tottenham as well. We're in the same boat. And Aston Villa. I expect, as a Newcastle fan, my standards are just to be with those 4 fighting for 4th, 5th, 6th. That's my expectation.
Sorry, who are the 4 they've just said there?
Aston Villa, Tottenham, Man United, and Newcastle United.
Man United.
So that's right there. Yeah, Man United. Why do you keep on going about Man United? They're rubbish, rubbish, man. You don't realize that yet? I know you're a Man U fan inside it. We got your photo, but you don't get that yet. Beckham don't play there no more. Ronaldo don't play there no more.
He ain't got no photo of me in a Man United strip.
Ronaldo don't play there no more. Giggs don't play there no more. Ferguson is not there no more. They're not the team that you grew up adoring.
Shall I tell you who does play there now? Cunha plays there. And Bueno plays there. And they are 2 players that Eddie was after. And since they've gone, and Sesko, by the way, who's not pulling up any trees, but since they've gone, there were 3 players we were after, didn't get because they wanted to go to Man United because it's a bigger club than we are. And look where they are in the league now. Simeone. Every Man United fan and their granny wanted shot of Simeone halfway through last season.
Simeone?
I'm wrong. Amiro.
Amiro is rubbish, man. It's rubbish. It's rubbish.
Well, let's see how rubbish he is now that he's gradually building up the team he wants.
Again, man, I implore you, if you're gonna be a delusional happy clapper,
and sticking with his 4-3-3 system,
if you're gonna be a delusional happy clapper for Newcastle United, listen. That it is. You live in Newcastle. There's nothing you can do about it. But don't be a delusional happy clapper for the rest of the league, man. Come on, it's not a good look, mate. It's not because you were talking bad about Amorim just last season. Now all of a sudden he's a legend because he's 7th win. Relax.
No,
they're not doing anything. not doing anything.
He's not a
man.
legend, but all I'm saying is that if the likes of Jeff O had their way, he wouldn't be there anymore. So would they have turned they apparently, it looks to me like they've turned the corner.
No, they haven't. They're seventh. Their seventh win.
Compared to 17th.
Yeah, but of course. That's why we having that rubbish. I'm the one that says that with our players, we should be there. 7th, 6th, 5th. Fighting. Look at that. Just looking at the table with Tottenham, Aston Villa, and Man United. But you know what? Take Man United that you think they're so great that they should be fighting for the league and Champions League all combined. Let's take them out, right? Let's put that delusion aside. What about Aston Villa? Aston Villa didn't spend nowhere near the amount of money we spent. They have PSR issues up to the.
Aston Villa have got a bigger wage bill than we've got.
What players do they have, man? What players do they have that they're better than us? Look at it like that. Stop looking at a number.
And so what does that prove? That Eddie's doing a great job. If you're saying we've got better players than Aston Villa, that means Eddie's doing a great job because we've got better players and we're not paying as much. Having said that, by not paying as much, look what happens. You lose
what
the
are you
legs.
talking about?
You lose the rat.
What are you talking about? We have better players, and Eddie Howe's doing better because we got better players than Villa, although they are 6th and we are, 17th? Literally?
At the minute.
14th. We're 14th right now, bro.
At the minute.
And of course, at the minute. Who's doing a better job? You saying that Eddie Howe's doing a better job than Amarim? I'm sorry, not Amarim, but the other Spaniard. Come on, Win. That's delusion, man, to the extreme. Tottenham. I guarantee you Tottenham have not spent what we spent. And they didn't have an Isak.
Tottenham are
they were
way above us in salary spend.
You keep talking about salary, man. It's irrelevant.
Because the salaries that you pay reflect a number, man. The quality of the player you've got on the pitch.
No, you're talking about really, it does. How about we look at the players they have and the players we got?
Well, how about we look at the players we've got based on their performances against Brentford and West Ham and Brighton?
Yeah, but Tonali is still one of the best midfielders in the world.
Tonali had a shocker.
Yeah, one game. He can have a shocker once a season. He can have that. That's not the norm. Again, you find ways to slag players off for one performance, and all of a sudden that makes them bad.
No.
One of the best midfielders in the league.
Maybe, just maybe, these fantastic players that you're on about, maybe, just maybe, they aren't as fantastic as we think they are. We went into this season thinking, and a lot of people were agreeing, a lot of the pundits, national pundits were agreeing with us, that Bruno, Tonali and J7 was potentially the best midfield three in the country. Have they performed like the best midfield three in the country this season? No, they haven't.
Shambolic. That's poor. That's really poor from him.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, you dig yourself into a deeper, and not even your happy clappers are on here defending you. By the way, which where is Josuzar? Where is I think what other happy clappers? James Cuff. Sometimes, although he's kind of turning on you, I think Tony T kind of turning on you as well about your delusion. Although he's a happy clapper. Where are they at? They're not even defending you, man. You keep there's a good comment here, by the way, here in the live chat on YouTube. Giniesta says, how many Villa players get into our 11? Their goalkeeper, Tillsman, I don't even put Tillsman in. And Rodgers, I would put, you can put the Rodgers in there. Gordon is not doing anything. So you can certainly do that. But really, who is the one playing for England or being trusted for that? Who do you have hope for? Who's, will probably be Gordon, although that should be really if you really got all your eggs on the Gordon basket, you should be taking yourself a look in the mirror. But how many? You know what I'm saying? How many of those Tottenham players? What about Tottenham players? They got Paulinho, who I thought we should have gotten. But I think somebody at the club might think that we are in the Ashley era like you. We didn't even attempt to go out there and get them. If you look at the Colomwani, we should have been all in for him. I like Colomwani. Xabi Simons doesn't bother me one bit. I think he was nothing. They got Xabi Simons. Brendan Johnson.
Xabi Simons was on my shopping list for about 3 windows.
That's yours. Bergval, he doesn't get in that team. Matisse Tell, he doesn't even get on their team. let alone ours. Voltemada much better. Solanke, you love Solanke. Of course, you would take him. He's hurt all
Exactly.
the time.
Yeah, I would have had Solanke. But of
you-
course,
you-
he's from Bournemouth.
I think it's irrelevant to me. But Solanke, you can say he's a good center forward. He could play with Voltemada, but I'm not really dying to get Solanke over here. Van de Ven, does he? I like Van de Ven. Does he get? Does he get over his
Absolutely, he does.
his compatriot Botman?
Of course, that's why he's getting picked for Holland, and he's not.
Yeah, that's fine. You got a point there. I'm not.
Kulishevsky, I'll have Kulishevsky every day instead of Yao.
Nah. He doesn't move. Papi Sarr, Spence ain't better than none of our wings.
Stars another J7, a younger J7.
Ives Bissouma, he doesn't light my fuck up. I think he's inhaling a balloon somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think that's Bissouma, right? Or is that Wan-Bissaka? Which one of the two? That was the no. Wan-Bissaka was the Manu at the time. James Madison, I'm not bothered by him. Vicario is a great goalkeeper. I'll take him, but that's a goal. Who else? Danzo. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered by Romero. None of them blow my fuck up, mate. You know, and so what are we on about? They're fifth.
Right.
Oh, but let me no. Let me guess.
That's how poor these players are. These players that you've just rattled off saying they're rubbish.
Because you got to make a team out of them. No, I'm talking about against ours. If I would replace any of our players for them, many of them I wouldn't. And that's the thing. But let me guess. They get paid more than our players. That's why they run more. They run harder because they get paid more, right? Yeah, well, they talking about numbers. So Richarlison gets paid more than Voltemada probably, and he's been a scrub that they wanted to get rid of for years and years and years, and he's still there. He still plays as a starter.
And he's still playing for Brazil.
And he gets called up for Brazil. Anybody gets called for Brazil nowadays, man. But anybody, you look at the Brazilian team now. But again, you got to look at international football, man. You got to get out of Newcastle, man. You got to get out of Newcastle. So they are good players.
So anybody can get in the Brazil side.
But only two. Joe Linton got there, man. Can you believe? Two or three of them that I would bring. Hang on. 2 or 3. Two or three I would get into. Huh?
Is GS7 a good player?
I think he fits a role. But he's not, you know, if I want quality, if I want passing, if I want to win.
You just said you wouldn't have Sir in front of him.
No, why? We already got one. Why would I? Papa Sarr is just another rollover bulldozer. He's a holding 5. He's a defensive midfielder. He's not really much of anything. No, but I wouldn't. That's the point. They made a good team this season.
Is this your judgment that's flawed?
No. Last season, this specific team of Spurs were 16, 15, wherever they were. So, what was the difference from last year to this year? Win
and 6 and what else? They won the Europa Cup. That's right.
Yeah, they did. That overshadows our cup, no doubt about it. I said it at the time. But they were 17th. Oh, not 17, I'm sorry, but they were low.
Yeah.
So what changed? A change that I criticized, by the way. What changed?
And what did for Ange was finishing 17th. And if Eddie finishes 17th, I'll be wanting Eddie out as well, as I've said a million times.
Yeah. I'm just saying we should be better than we are. And being fourth or fifth or sixth with Newcastle United fighting there with 18 points, 19 points, 17 points, I'll give you. You know, fighting. That's us. That should be us. You said we should be okay with being 9th. That's where we should be. To me,
we are 9th in the salary order, but fortunately we've got Eddie.
Again, you keep on talking about
Thank you, Sheila. Win, keep up the good fight, mate. Plenty behind you. They're just not screaming about it. Exactly, Sheila.
Yeah, that's fine. Again, I'm not here to be liked. I'm not here to people agree with me. That's not my mojo, man. That's not what I do.
That's not mine either.
I'm here to say and give my opinion on what's best for Newcastle United. Whether people shout behind me or not, that ain't got nothing to do with me. What people think of me is none of my business. I told you. What people think of me is none of my business. Keep that in mind. And if you have problems dealing with people and what they think of you, what people think of you ain't none of your business. So keep on walking. Don't even worry about none of that. Punt Max, giving Joe Willock and Miley or Ramsey a run in midfield is not going to radically improve that department, in my honest opinion. Maybe so. I don't know. I think Ramsey has given Willock is obviously he's out. I mean, I don't think Willock got anything really left as far as Newcastle United is concerned. I think he'll be sold at the first chance that anybody gets of selling him. But
well, that's one of the latest rumours going around, by the way, that Willock in a swap deal, a player plus cash deal for Wharton. That was the Geordie Boot Boys, who Geordie Boot Boys, cheers boys, because you supply the ticker along the bottom here. Visit that website; it's a good one.
Yeah. Visit our website. They give us our latest news. Scrolling down the bottom. We have to hold our hands, says Darren Lee. The summer transfer business wasn't great, and is not kicked the side on to push on for top 4. Well, no, I quite disagree with that, to be honest. If you look at Malik Chiao, he's been a steal. Coming in, Premier League, nonsense, doesn't bother him. He came in, was ready to play, no doubt about it. He's rocking up, and he's killing the Premier League. And, you got Voltemata. Voltemata, to me, has done exquisite for what he's been fed. Feed him more, he'll eat more, plain and simple. And the one that you would think would be Ilanga, clearly. He's been the biggest bust. Sheila says, Chris, this is not about you. It's showing people are here for win. It's not personal. My comment wasn't personal either, Sheila. So it's plain as, I don't know what you're on about. My comment is not personal either. I'm just stating the facts. And as far as me,
the facts as you see them.
The facts that I'm not here to be liked. Yeah, that's a fact. You can't tell me what I think. That would be the last thing. Incredible. Tell me what I think as well.
Because the reason that people may not like you is for the facts
they don't have
you
to.
state. No, I know you're not bothered about being liked. What I'm saying is the facts that you keep on calling facts are not facts, they're opinions.
About
about anything.
Of course, just like yours. And
absolutely.
You keep on talking about numbers, and people look at you like they
no, because the numbers are facts.
They want to crawl under their skin, and you're saying that we should be 9th because we spent 9th, and that's the rule, and that's how everything goes. Well, so if you actually look at your list, it's probably that graph right there is the most inconsistent thing ever. Because Man United probably spend more than anybody in the world, and they are absolutely rubbish every year.
They are underperforming. That's correct.
So again, you get onto that, it makes no sense, man. Because it's about the players that get on the pitch and perform. Those are the ones that determine, and the manager is making a decision.
No, that's stating the blatantly obvious. It's how the players perform when they get on the pitch. But it also relies on the players on the pitch being of whatever caliber they happen to be. And the better a player is, common sense will tell you the more they'll get paid. So if you are paying higher salaries, you've got better players. Whether you think they're better or not, the fact that they're commanding those salaries makes them better players because somebody's prepared to pay that.
Gavin Foley has a question for you. Win. So do you not think we will ever win the league because we are never going to catch up in wages because as we pay more?
No, I think we can win the league if Eddie can continue to overperform the way he has performed, and if we give him more ammunition to fire.
But he's got more ammunition now, though.
Yeah, but it all came in too late. We are currently 5 weeks behind everybody else.
It's a never-win situation.
Because of the rat situation. That's what did for us. And PIF not getting the deals done. If we'd had a proper system in the transfer window for buying players, we could have. I'm convinced we could have had Mbeumo, Pedro, and Cunha. All of whom are performing brilliantly for their new clubs.
They're brilliantly, man. What is this, man? 7th in the league. They were as sleep as ever. And then the last 3 games, they ended up winning.
But that's
and
Mbeumo was getting
man.
Premier League Player of the month and all that.
That doesn't matter, man. The Premier League, come on.
It does matter, man. That's
Only
why Man United have gone from 17th to 7th.
Lord have mercy on my soul, man. Please. Give me patience,
Please.
Lord. It's unbelievable, this nonsense. Anyway.
It's hard to argue with the facts, isn't it?
No, facts. Yeah, facts. Let me show you the memes of Mbeumo just 2-3 weeks ago, man, and see how you feel. How they were slating everybody up, everybody calling for them to because they weren't playing good. They weren't playing good, and they're getting onto a good run. We will see where they're going to be at before we give any massive statements on where they're going to be. Are you kidding me, man? They're just above. Who are they above? I forgot. I lost my list, man. But anyway, you're like the happy clap now about other teams. You elevated. You're evolved now. You're like a butterfly. You've evolved. Now you're not just a Newcastle United happy clapper. You are a Premier League happy clapper. It's insane. It's insane, man. But anyway.
What exactly is insane?
Listen, man, I give up. I give up. Let me go to the comments. I'm knackered with you, man. We have to hold up our hands. The summer transfer business. Oh, we read that one, actually. Let me go, Charles, here. Players not getting plenty of game time is the problem. You don't get the match. You don't get match. Great if you get 10 minutes, 20 minutes. But hence why the bench players aren't firing on all cylinders. You're saying that we should be playing kind of similar players every week. I mean, but that's kind of the.
I think what he's saying is that he should be rotating even more than he's rotating.
Or maybe you say rotating.
And the argument for that this season is that when he did rotate against Spurs, that's one of the best performances of the season. It wasn't great, but it was a lot better than most of the performances have been, and that was with rotation. That was without Tonali, surprise, without J7, and when he did rotate.
So, for example, let me ask you this, right? Let me ask you this: if you, because the way you say things is great, it's incredible. So let me ask you this. So, say we have a certain squad with J7 and Tonali in, and everybody else the same, and we lose, we play horrible like West Ham, like Brentford combined ×3. And for the next game, we just make 2 changes. We take Tonali and J7 off, and we win 2-0, play decent, good stuff. You made 2 changes, right? Took Tonali and J7 off.
That's a lot of suppositions and ifs.
No, I'm telling you. So this is the example. So for the following game, the third game, do you maintain those 2 changes, or what do you do? Hello?
Say you make 2 changes.
So game one, you play as bad as West Ham and Brentford combined. And Tonali and J7 played in that game. Game 2, you take Tonali and J7 out, and we win 2-0. We play good. For game 3, what do? You
do the same again. And you're going to say, well, why didn't Eddie do that?
No. You take Tonali and J7 out. That's what you do.
For the third, you've just won 2. What
exactly. Yeah, that's right.
What you are positing is why didn't Eddie keep the Tottenham Hotspur team.
No, I'm asking you. I'm actually questioning you. I'm not questioning anything else. I'm questioning you. And maybe we'll go to what you're trying to go to. But you're saying that because Tonali and J7, those two came off.
It wasn't just Tonali and J7.
No, I know that. But I'm saying, but in this particular example, because those two players came off, that means those two are the problem. And with a critical mind and common sense and an objective thought, you would say, there ain't no way Tonali's the problem, right? Tonali is one of the greatest midfielders in the world. It might be the other one. But you, because you just do 1 + 1 is 2, and that's how you think the football works, you would take our best midfielder, best player on the pitch off for the third game and J7. And instead of just saying J7 is the one that lacks quality to even do anything. But I'm going to put Tonali back in because obviously Tonali is our best player. But you wouldn't do that. You would just blindly take Tonali and J7 off and wouldn't even think about it, right? And that's incredible that you think like that.
This is great. Let's continue with this because go on.
It's incredible that you would think that.
Right? No. So you were saying anybody with a half a brain would put Tonali back in.
Exactly.
Right. And what happened?
What happened? J7, right?
What happened?
So you're saying that we lost because of Tonali?
We'll put Tonali back. I'm not saying anything.
So what are you saying then?
All I'm saying is
you're implying that
put Tonali back in and played like dogs.
So you are implying that because of Tonali we played like that. Again, the half a brain that was there.
The point is, I would do what Eddie did, which didn't work, by the way, and say, I'm not starting the game without Tonali, because that's what I would have done as well, and that's certainly what you would have done.
Yeah, but Tonali is not the problem. The problem is the rest.
Well, what is that's the key. You see, what is the problem?
The rest.
Could it be, for example, that when the team are playing right now with Tonali in the team, because he is such a good player, they're always looking for him to pass the ball to instead of looking at other options. And when he's not there, they've suddenly got to start thinking a bit wider and looking for other options. And maybe that was why we were successful.
But it's not working. I don't know if you realize that it's not working. And Tonali is certainly not the problem.
No, but it was working when Tonali was out the team.
So you are saying Tonali is the problem. Again,
I'm not saying Tonali is the problem at all.
Dude, you're losing the plot, man. You're losing the plot. But listen, it's your prerogative to lose. You can go that way if you want to. But the fact of the matter is that he is the best midfielder. This is the best player that we got. Thank you, Jefferson, for the super chat. Nice hat, Chris. I love your win. It's over for the Colties. There you go. Jefferson is there, and as I was saying earlier, I think Jefferson doesn't like Eddie Howe, and that's part of his. And I also think that he doesn't. That's why he doesn't think that he's a good fit for Newcastle anymore. He wants him out. I don't think that fixes much because I don't think just bringing anybody in for the sake of bringing them is a good decision. Fabregas, Como, it's incredible, because the same people that tell me no, that say no to Zinedine Zidane, one of the greatest minds to ever grace the grass, and also prove it as a manager, gets a no, but Fabregas does. Playing at ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden he's got more merit to come to Newcastle United than Zinedine Zidane. That just says
we are knackered.
For real knackered, man. And it also
proves that we're wangers.
I mean, it's incredible, this, man. The logic is beyond belief. Beyond belief. And Areola, listen, he might be. De Zerbi, everybody thought De Zerbi was going to be great. But when he was at Brighton, but now what? He's still good? People would say he's still good. But, it's not good enough. Not good enough. Doing a good job at Brighton, doing a good job at Bournemouth. I'm not in that business anymore. I moved away. I retired from that. That's not what I do no more. I want established, proper managers. At least aim there first, and then we go down the list and we go to the rest of them. But right now, Eddie Howe's still there, man. Eddie Howe's still there. And listen, I'm not. I still believe he might be turning things around. But again, I admit it. That just might be some of the delusion that wears off from win. And I might be speaking. I'm still not there yet. Because, once again, I'm afraid. I admit that I'm afraid of what's to come. Because once you start going into this rolling over managers, it's a snowball effect that is hard to stop at times. So
you can't judge him until he gets his own players in, and you go through that whole cycle
well,
yet again.
no. I don't believe that.
Yet again.
I don't believe that nonsense. He's gotten. Oh, you're talking. Oh, that. Oh, yeah. I agree with you 100%. I apologize. I'm talking about. I thought you were saying wait until Eddie gets all his players. He got the players that he wanted, man. You're not every manager in the world gets.
By the way, we'll find out how good De Zerbi is very shortly.
He's smashing it at Marseille. We're gonna see. We're gonna play against him. We shall see. We shall see. Chris, look at who Fabregas played under Pep, Wenger, and Conte, Guardiola. Fabregas is a great mind of football, but he ain't got more credit than Zidane. He doesn't. Oh wait, man. But I agree with you. Fabregas is a great mind of football. If you tell me Iniesta, I'll tell you about Iniesta after the show and who he is. But if Iniesta was a manager, he probably will be. And a great mind of football. Now, you got to implement it on the pitch, by the way. And people just think that because you manage Real Madrid, because you manage Man City, because you manage all those clubs, is easy. It's easy to do. It seems like we got a phone call here, ladies and gents. At last, let's answer it here. How's it going, mate? What's your name?
To accept, press 1. To send to voicemail.
How's it going, mate? What's your name? Hello? Hello? You're calling in UFC Talk TV. Hello? How's it going, mate? What's your name? Hello? Hello?
Good old technology.
Hello? Do you hear us? Are you still there? We couldn't get him, but hopefully he'll call us back. But we want to hear their opinion. We want to hear their thoughts. So call us right now, 0191 916 8863. Let's have a good conversation. Actually, we'll try to give him a call back and see what he would like to say here, because we want to hear the fans' opinions, and it should be easy. Hi, mate. How you doing? You hear me? Hello. Do you hear us?
Hello.
He's not hearing us.
Call from
Mick Bingley.
Oh, Mick Bingley.
To accept, press 1.
There you
To
go.
send to
Let's accept it. Oh no, he wouldn't. He was calling Mick Bingley. I think I've seen him in the chat before. For some reason, we wouldn't be able to get him on. So let me see. Let's connect again here.
That was probably Mick and UFC.
Mick Bingley.
Let's go here. Mick, do you hear us, mate? Hello? Mick, do you hear us?
Hello.
He's not hearing us. Let me see here. Mick, do you hear us, mate?
Is that you, Chris?
Yeah, that's me, mate. How's it going?
Hi. I'm fine. Is the Mighty Win there?
Mighty Win is right there.
Mighty Win's here.
He can hear you.
Chris, Win, listen, I agree with a lot of your stuff about Eddie Howe, and I agree what you're saying. Trying to change managers, blah. But, I'm a bit like Chris, like I'm on the fence, because at the end of the day, he's got to start changing players, because he's bought all these players, and to be quite honest, the lads aren't getting a chance at all. Joe Linton, you need to, drop him. The goalkeeper, you need to get Ramsdale in. And I don't need to tell you guys, you know where I'm coming from. I just don't think it'll make sense to sack Eddie Howe just now. But if the results carry on the same as they are, well, what do you say?
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. You're just repeating my mantra there that, it's results that decide his fate. Simple as.
Oh, yeah.
And-
Hold on. We'll. I know what I will do. We'll go. Stay right there, mate. Stay right there. I know what we'll do here in just a second. We're gonna. So because he couldn't. He wasn't able to hear you, for some reason, and we'll try to do something here in just a second. But respond to him. What did you want to say to him?
Well, he's saying everything that I've said about Eddie. And he said he was agreeing with us, which he is, and it's all about results. And if he doesn't get the results, he'll be on his bike. Thank you very much and goodbye. But I just don't think that time has come yet. And as he said himself, he's a fence sitter.
Mm-hmm. How's it going, Mick? Okay, so I think I don't know. Can you hear Win? Go on, Win.
Can you hear me now? Win, I'm here. Win's here. Oh, right.
But I'd agree with Win by saying we shouldn't suck him. At the end of the day, he's got to be given that little bit of time to see if he can change it around. If he can't change it around yet, he's got to go. Because at the end of the day, he's got players on there that he should be changing and getting rid of some of the dead wood that's playing on there at the moment, because it's surely not working.
Well,
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, specifically, you referred to J7 and Ramsdale, and if you look at our pre-match videos, when I see the team,
guys.
But the thing though, Mick, I don't necessarily agree. What's the deadwood that's in the team right now, other than Joe Willock? I mean, I think we got rid of Lascelles, but Lascelles doesn't get any playing time.
No, sorry, I'll rephrase that, Chris. I don't mean get rid of them, but say you're Joe Linton, that's having a hot and cold season. Gia Ramsey, give him a chance. Alanga, he's got to be given a bit more time in the team. It's no good sitting him on the bench and bringing him on for 5 minutes and that. But I think Eddie Howe is just getting his tactics at the moment so wrong, and I don't know why. But he's been doing it for the last 2 seasons. He picks his favourites. I mean, Lewis Miley, the lad hardly gets a shout. You know what I mean?
Well, he's been hurt, but I do agree with you in the sense that he should have been the first one playing the other day.
100%, Chris. 100%. I agree with Wayne. I don't see the point of getting rid of Eddie Howe at the moment. It's just going to unsteady the ship, and I know we keep saying give him a bit time, give him a bit time. Now, if these results don't change, I agree with what you're saying, Chris. He's got to go. I don't know who we're going to get or who's available, but it kind of go on like this. It's terrible to watch the football. It's embarrassing. And Wayne's admitted that himself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he hasn't said all that, to be honest. He's a happy, clever man. He says, "Yeah, weird, man, weird."
I've said every word of what Mick's just said there. I've said every word of it.
He was a taxi driver, wasn't he?
Oh, Wayne was a taxi driver. A poor one, to say the least, but he was one.
Yeah, my mate was a taxi driver in Newcastle Airport for years. A lad called Alan Muirs for years.
Yeah. What part of Scotland are you calling from now, mate?
Aye. So that's all I've got to say, Chris. I agree with Wayne. We've got to keep a hold of him, and see what happens. But if things don't change, he's got to go. He cannot keep producing that. He's got to change the side.
That's exactly where I am.
Hopefully, when they come back on the international break and get the players back, I mean, Gordon having it's season. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's got to change that about, like.
Yeah. If we don't, we're knackered, man. No doubt about it.
We are totally knackered, Chris.
Are you Mag from the Highlands or something, Mick?
Thanks very much for having us on. A great
cheers,
show.
Mick. Call anytime. Call us anytime.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
That was Mick there with it. There we go. See, we had to get it sorted. You can call us now, folks. We got a few minutes and 5 more minutes here. 0191 916 8863. Proper radio, as Corey would say. Proper radio, this mate. Need doubt, man. Call us. We got the phone number. We got put Wynn's number out there and you can call us. It started being comedy, Darren Lee, but we got it anyway. Steve got it. 700 million spent. Crap football. Shocking signings. He also says slow, lackluster squad, and I could go on and on about how well. Listen, some people already have their opinion formed.
£700 million shocking signings. Who are those £700 million?
I don't think they're shocking signings, though. By the way, again,
no, exactly. They're not shocking signings.
The jury's still out on Ramsey, although he's giving us.
Hang on. Pope. Let's start at the beginning. Trippier, Pope, Bruno, Botman, shocking signings. These Isaac, shocking signing. Who else has he signed? Jow, shocking signing. Alanga, to be proven, admittedly. Barnes, shocking signing. Gordon, shocking signing. That'll probably take you up in the end up to 700 million.
Yeah, but like I said, it's not. I don't think it is.
Well, it's just a ludicrous statement. 700 million pound on shocking signings. You could argue. Let's say he's wasted 100 million.
We definitely made a few shocking signings, to be honest, though. A few shocking signings in that. One of them could be. See, I'm more focused about now, man. The 700 million. I think that's a point well taken, Steve. But we're talking about the 200 that we spent this season, and are those players making us any better? I think the majority are. But Ilanga, hey, listen, I will admit, I thought Ilanga would be a canny player for us, but he's certainly not doing his part.
I certainly thought he'd be an improvement on Murphy. And that's obviously me denigrating Murphy, by the way, because he had a fantastic season last season. And we wondered whether that was a flash in the pan. But the way he started this season, he's still getting the numbers. And that's what you want from wingers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I guess we'll have to see. But again, we should be playing better than this. We should be, again, my expectation of Newcastle United is not to win nothing, to be winless, to be trophyless. Maybe the cups we can do something. But everything is also, you can have your expectation at the beginning of the season, but then how things evolve. Yeah, your expectation, for example, right now in the Carabao Cup, Newcastle United one of the favorites to win it. So that shouldn't be overachieving all of a sudden. Because if you look at the EFL Cup, other than obviously we got Man City still there, I think. Man City, Chelsea are there, Arsenal are there, and the cup is going to go to those four. And Newcastle United, the Crystal Palace is great. They might eliminate Arsenal. You never know, but that would be overachieving for them. You see what I'm saying? And of course, if we go into the final
last season, which is by the way, which is why Glasner would be my number one choice.
If we would go against Man City, for example, you better believe it, we're the underdogs. Chelsea probably would say so, and Arsenal as well. We'll be although we've beaten Arsenal all the time, so really, isn't an underachievement? Again, we'll be up there, but we're in the fight. We're in the fight. That's why I don't think this. Because I heard a comment. I read a comment talking about. Yeah, just we got to throw the cups and focus on fixing the league. That'd be devastating. That's
I don't agree with that at all.
Gavin
Fuller saying our new style: send a glass eye to sleep football.
There you go. And we had a few comments there from Jeffo, I think, trying to make his case about the Eddie Howe situation. I think he's saying it. Most likely 22nd, 23rd, Iniesta, hopefully. Hopefully, man. Come on, man. You talking about where we would finish? No, man. I mean, that's definitely a second. I think that would be.
No, I think what he's saying is the 22nd or 23rd of November.
Oh, he might be going somewhere.
That's what he's meaning, because by then we will have played Man City at home at Everton away.
There's no such thing as being 22nd or 23rd. That's championship. Anyway, anyway, folks, we debuted our phone. We put Wynn's phone numbers. You can keep calling them all day, every day. 019191688863. We're gonna probably use that again tonight. We're gonna be back with the same show later on tonight. We got the England match coming up as well. Tune into the headlines video. that I made after this one should be redirected to that. A lot of great comments there as well. But anyway, lads, I gotta go. But take care. Have a good one. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining us. And we'll be back at it again. A good old undisputed show between Win and I. You gotta luck.
You gotta love it.
You gotta love it. Hate it or love it. I know y'all be here. So thank you very much, all of you super chatters as well. Thank you. It's been
Thanks
lovely.
very much.
We'll be back at it again.
Oh,
We got hold on. We got a caller, ladies and gentlemen. And we say we got a caller here.
Call from. To accept, press 1.
To accept. Let's accept it. Hello, mate. How you doing?
Fine, mate. How you doing?
I'm doing good. What's your name?
Said Khan.
What is your name again? Say that again.
Said Khan.
I don't know how you say your name, but anyway. So what do you think, mate? What do you want to say?
I want to say we need to be stop backing Eddie Howe.
Stop backing Eddie Howe.
We need to stop backing Eddie Howe.
I've been watching your show for the last couple of months, and I'm getting frustrated with Win, man.
You getting sick of Win? You speak up a little bit, though. Speak up. Get close to your phone. You're sick of Win, you said? Oh, he hung up there. But he's sick of you, Win. So there you go. And I couldn't understand his name, but he is kind of I don't know.
Sounded like Kaitan to me or something. I'm not sure.
But he sounded kind of like a Geordie in the beginning, though. So anyway. But anyway, folks, we got to go. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for the super chats from Benjamin, Hells, Sheila, JK, Jeffo, Corey, and Gavin Fuller. Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you very much. Was that called Jeff or was this Paul Morris? Maybe so. We'll see you later, folks. Take care.